That's pretty good. I can grab that little intro. All right. So Tuesday night, if you get a phone call and it's Campbell on Tuesday night and you haven't got a presentation ready to go,
that's because Simone
don't answer
had
your
double
phone.
booked her appointment. There was a reason for it.
Anyway, all right, so here we are, yes, NUNAN, Maximise-profits, so a business consultancy helping businesses to navigate the ups and downs of growing their business. So a couple of years ago I went and saw Dave Goggins speak up in Brisbane, had a ticket to go see him speak, and if anyone knows Dave Goggins, he's got heaps of different advice that we probably won't share here, but it was Ethan offered the stage to someone, just like Campbell did a couple of nights ago, on the spot, said, does anyone want to get up here? You've got a room full of people to sell your business to, you've got 10 minutes on the floor. And no one took him up on it. And it was basically, his point was, if you go to some of these events, sometimes they have downtime, have a presentation in your back pocket ready to go. So I learnt that on Tuesday night. I also learned on Tuesday night to update my photos. Or don't date them. I did find some extra photos of my son, but it probably, again, not appropriate for, 7:30 in the morning. So yeah, Gus, he's a year 12 student last year at school. My daughter's in law school, was doing a double degree, and is now just changing to do commercial law, so she'll be a lawyer by this time next year. And then my wife's a primary school teacher at Marymount College. Year 6s she looks after, gets the kids ready for secondary school. So, different industries that I've consulted to and still consult to. Broad spectrum, we've got manufacturing, construction businesses, education and training, some allied health services, and some people in the hospitality sector. So a broad range of businesses, all doing different things, all relatively have the same challenges. The main sort of service I offer these guys is around their financial intelligence. That's my background, being a commercial accountant. When we get them ready to the tax area, we pass them over to someone like Isht who can do tax planning for them, but I get them to the bottom line and then help them improve that. What do business owners want? So there's a number of different surveys that go around from the National Australia Bank, from different bodies all over the world. These are the reasons. These are the things that business owners want. They want more money. They want to find better staff. They want to pay recruitment firms instead of doing it themselves. They want to work in better premises. They want holidays. I don't know where a holiday person is. They want holidays. Yes. They want to pay themselves more, and on, and they generally, if we surveyed this room, you want that freedom that you thought you would get when you started your own business and has eluded you from the starting line. Yeah? And a lot of those, most of them, can be solved when you increase the money coming through your business in the form of increased profits. So there's 5 steps, 5 stages to increasing profits in most businesses, in fact all businesses. And it starts with generating more leads, converting more of those into your customers, selling them more or selling them more often, getting better prices, and then increasing your margins, results in your bottom line. So normally we would take you through a fictitious company where I drag some numbers out of one of my clients of what we've done over the last 18 months to show you what happens when different elements of this formula work in your favour. And I didn't do one where it doesn't work in your favour, because you might know what happens there. So anyway, so we started out with this customer. Hopefully you can read that. So we started out, so his leads, he was getting roughly 1 lead a day coming through his business from the activities that he was doing, right? So 360 leads a year. He was roughly converting about 70% of those into one of his programs. He was selling to them about 4 times a year. So so that gives him 250 customers a year. He was selling to them 4 times a year because they're regular repeat cycle. He was selling to them at $450 per transaction. So he was generating $450,000 worth of revenue, and his net profit at the end of that was 12%. So left over $55,000. So over about an 18-month period, we started to implement a range of strategies into his business. So we got his leads up to 3 a day. So we've increased that by 200%. His conversions relatively stayed the same. We tweaked around with a couple of different offers. We decreased our conversion rates by some offers, but then we got it back up by changing what our offer was, but it relatively stayed around the same. 7 out of 10 people that would come through his funnel, if you call it a funnel, would sign up and take on one of his courses. So customer increase up to 756, so we got a 200% increase. Then we have attrition, right? Our customer base doesn't just keep compounding, people fall off the back end, so there's always attrition. So he has about a 20% attrition, which is why he just has to keep topping up all the time. His transactions still stayed the same at 4, so there's no growth there. His prices, we tweaked a bit. He's really price sensitive. I believe he can tweak his prices quite a lot more, but his mindset is that he's in a really price sensitive market. So anyway, so we got a 4% increase out of him, which is under inflation over that period of time. Inflation was above that. So yeah, increased his total revenue to 1.3 million, which is close to a 200% increase. We got his margins up a little bit, and over that 18-month period, he's now on a 200k return, which is a 265% profit increase in about 18 months. So didn't happen overnight though. So what we do with him in our profit acceleration system is we choose a whole range of strategies, and it's based on the principle of marginal gains, which is small incremental improvements over multiple areas compound to give you a bigger return. So it's not a home run. We're not after a home run, we're after singles here. We're after getting on base. I don't know if you watch Moneyball. It's after getting on base multiple times to get home runs, which is what we do. So with this particular guy, a fair bit of our work was done in the strategy and the foundations part. He already had a little bit of a following, and we just changed, we tweaked his offer multiple times, we increased his engagement in the community, and over that period of time, that's how he went from 1 a day up to 2 a day to 3 a day, and then converting, etc. And in those different areas of our profit growth formula, those are the particular strategies that we have in our toolbox that we execute on. All right. How are we going for time there, Campbell? Good? Anyway, doesn't matter. Anyway, so...
You're going well.
We've got 4 minutes left.
So we can chop it off
Yeah,
any
you got
time.
2
Anyway,
minutes
so,
left.
So this is our model. We get a customer in. The first part is that assessment part. So same as what we did. We assess what you're doing. We view your business through the lens of what areas in our profit growth model that we can assess. We go through the data that's in your business. Data tells us an amazing amount of information. That data being your financial statements, basically tell us what's been going on for a period of time. The more the better. Your point of sale systems, your customer relationship management systems, other business information systems that you've got. We use all that data to prioritise your profit areas, which is in that model that I just showed you. We plan it out, and then we start going about executing, and we measure stuff all the way. Yep, everything we measure. We measure, tweak, measure, tweak, measure, tweak. And this is exactly what we do. So in the first 90 days, we do a deep dive profit acceleration review of your business. That's me asking you a bunch of questions. That's our new Coach AI tool, helping us ask you a bunch of questions about your business. It's learnt from about 1,000 different coaches doing this to people globally. So it's a well-trained little beast. We establish individual KPIs for your unique business, for where you want to take it, for that little freedom that you're after. Set your plan up, make that plan on your table so you see it every day, and then we go about achieving, go about implementing. So there we go, wound that up. Questions?
Cool.
Oh yeah, question time. Even better.
Well,
No?
So how do you charge fees? How do you get a lead to you, and what's your setup fees?
Yeah, it's on a case by case basis. So I do things, for example, where I've done have tweaked a business plan for an allied health business. We work with him on a monthly basis, and now I meet with him on a quarterly basis because his mode of operation is if he sees his business plan, which he keeps on his table, every day he knows the target that he wants to hit, and all we need to do is catch up with him on a quarterly basis and see how he's going. We've got his staff in there that run his different lead schedules and other different basic tracking KPIs. So there's him, there's other guys that I meet on a weekly basis. On a weekly basis we solve problems, we do whatever shiny object has popped into their vision during the week, we try and address quickly and get back onto the scope of business. Yeah,
So how do we like help you? Like what target or what sort of business is there? Like how can we generate leads for you?
Yeah, look, so the best referrals I get is through your public tax accountants. Yep. So they're my best source of referrals. They get that numbers mean things to people's businesses. They generally don't have time to do a lot of the stuff I do because they've got a portfolio of 300 businesses doing tax work. They take their eye off the ball. They take their eye off their tax work. So they're my ideal referrals. Just recently picked up one from a commercial bank manager. So that's if you've got a commercial bank manager, someone lending money to people, they want to get their money back. So I've previously been a commercial bank manager, so I understand that side of the table when you're basically cash flow lending. So yeah, those types of people are my ideal people to get in contact with.
And you, for someone that's a start-up business,
Mhm.
it's better getting you in there before they start up or near the start, or are you better analysing the business to see where they're going to with that business first?
Yeah, well, with a startup, it's all about forecasting. So we can get in, it's about setting a plan. It's probably not about startups are generally cash poor. So it's about using what you've got. So planning, getting a forecast going, letting them go off, follow a bit of a plan to build up some wins. And then from there, we can go a bit further. But generally I find startups, cash poor, they want to hold on to what they've got, but they still want to grow their business. If you can get them, what's that thing? If you get someone 2 degrees in the right direction, then they don't end up 30 degrees off at the end of the trip, yeah? There we go.
Any other questions?